In this video, we continue work with images. Last class, we learned how to use class and ID. Remember, ID can only use one time for one element, but we can use class to include a group of elements. So that's the difference. We learn an example. This example, we use class to control, like say we want to align left or right or center. You can say we assign a different class. Remember here, class will use dot, and the P is paragraph, is optional. Means to say this is a paragraph. You don't necessarily include here. If you include the paragraph, means make it clear, but it's optional. So you can say we can put a text inside the paragraph, or we can put some image inside. It doesn't matter. This video will learn how to wrap text around images. So let's try to do it again. Here, suppose we have a paragraph. We need to close it. Inside the paragraph, we have an image. And we want to control that because the original size is too big. And also have some text. Let's go to Mansfield website. So Mansfield, let's go copy some text here. Actually, any text is okay. Copy it. Post here. Because the space doesn't matter, so we can just retain, so can make everything display in the one screen. Okay, now inside the paragraph, we have one image. Actually, we can close here image. Then we have some text. Let's say what do we get? You can see the text and the image doesn't align very well. Why? Because we have some space here, but the text cannot use the space here. So we need some way to align image with text. How to do that? We will use something it's called the float. Float the image. So let's say we have an image. You have to put the style. We are using CSS, img float left. Usually we put as left. You can try, like say, you can try as the flow as the right, but it doesn't work. So flow left the image. Let's see how it make difference. So can you see the difference? By use float, we allow image align with text. So that's the powerful flow. Flow actually very useful. Later we'll learn how to flow menus. So that's about the flow. In this image, in this here, you can say we actually need some space between the image and the text. How we do that? So let's say we put something it's called the padding. So you can say for the image, we put some and here space padding. Padding, we want to put some padding left side, like the 10 pixel. Save it. Let's see how it will make difference. Reload the code. Can you see the space? This is 10 pixel. So that's how we use padding to add some space. Certainly you can put the padding on the bottom, on the left, on the right, on the top is okay. So that's about float and pending. Sometimes we need to include the image as background. Actually, this is cool because it will make your website very impressive. How can we do that? Think about say we just have the image here. Let's delete the from here because I want to make it complex. Think about this, we only have a paragraph. Let's display it. See what we get. So this is the paragraph we have. Then now we want to add the image as background. So we can put the inside the CSS. We put the paragraph, and here we put the background image. And the colon, here we use URL, it's address. We need to put the length of the address in the middle and put some semicolon. Okay, save it. So make sure you just follow something like this. URL, don't put a space between them. So put the length with wrap with the quotation sign. Okay, now let's see what we get. This is the original one. We get something like this. Why we get this? Because the original image is very big. Now we just the text is just a small part of the image. So if we include more text, we can say I just copy and post. Again, copy. We want to have bigger paragraph. Okay. Now let's say what we get. So this is actually, you can see the image is very big. So those text are only a small part about the top part. So that's about background image. Use URL, background dash image colon URL, and use the brackets, quotation sign, and the name of the file. Sometimes in this example we have a big image, but how about we have a small image? For example, here in this example, I have a small I get a small image in here, MU1. So let's use a small image and see what will happen. Again, we just change the name of the image. MU1 is the PNG. You need to make sure you include the extension name and see what we get. We get something like this. So in this way, because actually we can see the image actually repeat from here to here. The left side is the image, so the right side is a repeated image. So the default, when we have a small image, if the size of the image is too small than the text, the background image will be repeated. So if we don't want to repeat it, we need to put some control, just like here. The default is repeated. If we don't want to repeat it, we need to put a control. So for example, like I said, no repeat. So let's see how can we do that. Put some colon, semicolon here. And the background repeat, no repeat, semicolon. Let's see what we get. No, it's this one, this small one. So you can say if we don't repeat the background image, we can something like this. So by the coding, we can control, like say this is default, will repeat. We also can control repeat just horizontally, or repeat vertically, or no repeat. We also can control the position of the image. Like in this example, because we don't repeat the image, maybe we want to put the image in the middle. How to do that? We can use a different way. Like we use the background position. We can put left, center, right, or we can use percentage. So just and here, background position. First, let's try use the center. Put the semicolon here. So what do we get? Can you see we put the image in the center? We also can control by percentage. For example, by 90%, or let's by 30%. Reload it. So you can say this is 30%. So that's how we can control the background image position. We also can control attachment. What means attachment? Think about, say, with this image, if we have a small window, then we have the scroll. If we move the scroll, you can say the image and text move together. If we don't want them move together, this scroll is a default. We can change as a fixed background attachment. So let's do it again. Background attachment here. The default is scroll. We can change as a fixed. So what do we get? Reload. So in this case, when we move the window, move the text, you can say the background image is fixed. So that's how we can control background image repeat or no repeat, or the position of the image, or the scroll or fixed. That's about this video.